There is an undeniable allure to brands that remain faithful to their heritage, a quality that Ducati has exemplified for a long time. Since its inception in 1926, Ducati has established a reputation for crafting motorcycles that embody both sportiness and sensuality, delivering peerless performance with each ride. One of the key contributors to this success story is Fabio Taglioni, a former chief designer and engineer who, in the 1950s, implemented a Desmodromic valve in Ducati's racing motorcycles, revolutionizing their ability to reach high RPM. Although this patented technology has long been deemed obsolete, Ducati persists in preserving it in their engines, a nod to their commitment to honoring the brand's illustrious history. Likewise, the sole single-cylinder Ducati motorcycle evinces the company's unwavering allegiance to its roots, epitomizing the simplicity and elegance that were hallmarks of the brand's earliest models. Taglioni's introduction of the Desmodromic engine on a 90-degree V-twin, also known as the L-twin, was a pioneering feat that resonated deeply with motorcycle enthusiasts. This breakthrough was later refined by Massimo Bordi, an accomplished engine designer who would go on to create the legendary Ducati Desmoquattro engine. This remarkable power plant catapulted Ducati to new heights of success, earning widespread acclaim through the late 1980s and the entirety of the 1990s. The Desmoquattro was the result of a 5-year development process, which involved the incorporation of liquid cooling, a multi-valve engine head, and a fuel injection, starting in 1986 with the Ducati 748 WSBK racing bike. The engine evolved over time, expanding from a 851cc capacity to 888cc, 916 and eventually 996cc. However, even as Ducati made progress with the Desmoquattro, the temptation of single-cylinder racing remained too strong to ignore. This racing class, which originated in Britain in the 1970s, captured Ducati's imagination, prompting the company to embark on a new endeavor. Dubbed the sound of singles, this initiative ignited a great deal of buzz and excitement among fans and riders alike. The Sound of Singles initiative encompasses a diverse range of single-cylinder layouts that spanned across 3 different categories, with manufacturers from both domestic and international markets, each contributing their unique single-cylinder engines to the grid. This resulted in a wide array of options, featuring both air-cooled and liquid-cooled engines, as well as 2-valve and multi-valve setups. In 1992, Ducati unveiled their contribution to this venture at the Cologne Mod Show, the result of a side project that had been underway since 1990. Spearheaded by South African designer Pierre Terblanche and engineers Massimo Bordi and Claudio Domenicali, the original plan called for both a race version and a full production line. Bordi was quick to recommend using the Desmoquattro engine for the task, an engine that had already proven its mettle in the racing world. One of the primary challenges associated with creating a high-power single-cylinder engine is that extracting additional displacement from a single bore is not as straightforward as it may seem. Single-cylinder engines are also notorious for their high level of vibration, which require careful engineering to balance out if they are to operate at high RPM without damaging themselves. Originally, the development team at Ducati had intended to eliminate the front horizontal cylinder. However, they ultimately decided to remove the vertical cylinder instead for weight distribution reasons. One concept that they explored during development involved using a second conrod with a counterweight attached to it, but this approach proved to be inefficient. Instead, Massimo Bordi decided to incorporate a dummy rod and pin the small end of the rod to a pivoting point. Dubbed the doppia biletta, this twin conrod system proved to be very cost-effective and provided excellent engine performance. Unlike other single-cylinder engines that would fail when crossing the 6000 RPM mark, The Supermono was capable of reliably reaching 11,000 rpm, an impressive feat for a 500cc piston engine in the 1990s. The Supermono was derived from the Ducati 888 and 916 engines, utilizing half the displacement of its siblings. To achieve the desired power output, the cylinder dimensions were increased from 94 by 66 mm to 170 mm, resulting in a 550cc single-cylinder engine that was later expanded to a 572cc with an even larger bore of 102 mm. The engine featured two belt-driven camshafts operating 4 Desmodromic valves and utilized the Desmoquattro liquid cooling system. The water pump was driven off the exhaust camshaft, and the engine boasted a high compression ratio of 11.8 to 1. The final version of the Supermono delivered an impressive peak power of 75 horsepower at 10,000 rpm and a maximum torque of 50 Nm or 37.5 pound-feet at 8,000 rpm. Indeed, the Supermono was an engineering marvel with its state-of-art components that contributed to its impressive power-to-weight ratio. The use of lightweight materials such as magnesium and titanium for the engine components and wheels reduced the overall weight of the bike, enhancing its performance capabilities, as the weight is always the main advantage of a single-cylinder bike over any other engine design. The result was a bike that weighed in at only 118 kg dry, making it one of the lightest motorcycles of the time. The power-to-weight ratio was impressive, with each horsepower having to move only 1.57 kg of weight. This allowed the Supermono to achieve some astonishing performance figures, including a top speed of around 227 km per hour. Moreover, the Weber twin-injector system with a 60mm electronic throttle body ensured maximum fuel efficiency, further increasing the power output of the bike. It is worth noting that the Supermono's Desmodromic valve system was a significant departure from conventional valve actuation mechanisms used in other single-cylinder engines. The Desmodromic valve system, implemented by Taglioni, involves the use of dedicated cams and rocker arms to open and close the valves, eliminating the need for valve springs. This results in a precise valve control and eliminates the possibility of valve load at high engine speeds. This advanced valve system, coupled with the Supermono's other cutting-edge components, helped it achieve exceptional performance and make a name for itself in the world of racing. Besides, there is an image of a Supermono engine which is not the racing unit. Upon a closer look, one can notice the presence of air cooling fins, a mechanic carburetor, and an all-aluminum engine structure, indicating that it may have been designed for a production motorcycle. As early stated, Ducati intended to manufacture a whole range of single-cylinder bikes, but the project was eventually terminated, with only 67 units of the Supermono being produced. In contemporary times, the Supermono is considered a highly coveted motorcycle and commands a six-figure value in the market. The concept of the dummy connecting rod balancing system found in the Ducati Supermono has been utilized in other engines as well. For instance, in 2008, BMW introduced the F800 GS, which featured a 360-degree firing twin-cylinder engine similar to a Boxster twin, with an additional connecting rod in the center of the crankshaft. This connecting rod served to counterbalance the movement of the pistons in the opposite direction, much like in the Supermono. Suzuki also filed a patent sketch in 2019 for a similar application with a vertical piston and a horizontal dummy rod, although no product has been released yet. While the dummy connecting rod system used in the Ducati Supermono and later in some other engines is a fascinating and innovative way to balance an engine, it seems that irregular balancing shafts are more commonly used and considered more effective. However, the Supermono remains a unique and groundbreaking example of a single-cylinder engine, and its design and technology have inspired many engine designers and enthusiasts over the years.